Tackle Junkies, what's going on, fellas? Got a pretty cool video planned for you guys today. It's going to be my top baits of 2017. You know, really what I caught the most fish on, what worked best for me throughout the year. Appreciate it if you guys leave some comments down below of your top baits of 2017. Maybe it'll be something that I haven't used or even thought about using, or maybe a different rigging option that I can try in 2018. And maybe you can take something from this video either down in the comments, or maybe something that I'm using that you haven't seen or used, or maybe rigged differently, something like that. But I'm pretty excited to get into it. And I think what we're going to do is, I'm going to talk about one particular bait right here. Not that I caught the most fish on this year, but this bait right here caught my biggest. We'll go ahead and start with that. This one right here is a Bomber Square A Chartreuse Blackback. You can see the bill is busted out of it. That big fish that I caught, this is how the bait came in. So I guess when she hit it hard enough to pop the bill out. But I did make a live stream of the release of that fish. I did make another video talking about it. I'm going to post some pictures up on the screen as well. But this fish right here, I did not get to weigh. I didn't have a scale with me at that time. I was just going to, try out a new reel at the lake. I didn't plan on catching anything. I mean, it was early spring. Water was super cold still. And like I said, I landed what I believe is a 7-pounder. You guys can leave down in the comments what you think she weighed. But I've caught many 5-pounders. I know what they look like. I know what they weighed. And that fish was truly a beast. I mean, the gut on her alone was huge. I mean, my biggest fish of the year right here. Bomber Square A. All right, let's talk early spring, pre-spawn and all that. Right when I just started fishing, there was 2 baits that were key, and they're search baits. I really didn't know what was going on with the lake. And I did a lot of pond fishing too in the beginning of the year. But these 2 baits, well, this one shined really at the ponds as well. We'll get into that one. But the first 2 that I kind of rotated with the beginning of the year would be a square bill, but a little bit bigger one, KVD 1.5. The 2 colors that I use the most were this one right here. This one is the Chartreuse Crazy Shad, and then just Gizzard Shad, which you guys see, which I use, all the time, the Gizzard Shad, which is just like a black back and white sides and all that. But I think I got to open some more. I guess I broke off my last one. I don't have any more in this box. But KVD 1.5, and the other bait, Picasso Shock Blade, chatterbait, bling shad, and the key was that trailer. Guys, I've talked about this many times as well. I don't use the big swim bait trailers and all that on my chatterbaits. It really throws off the action. It's not consistent. You got a real tight, fast vibration with the chatterbait blade. If you put on a swim bait in the back, like I said, it's 2 completely different actions. The vibration is not consistent. I like a do-nothing trailer, and I let the chatterbait give the action to my trailer. And you would not think to use a straight tail worm, guys, but the Biospawn Plasma Tail is a little, it's a killer little trailer for a chatterbait. Early spring, the chatterbait was the deal. Like I said, Biospawn Plasma Tail, awesome little combo there, guys. I still have not, you guys know, I still have not, I bought those jackhammers. I still have not used those, so I really can't compare them yet to the shock blades. I don't believe the shock blades have as much thump as some that I've used. To me, it's more of I ain't saying a finesse approach, but it's not as invasive just because it's not a ton of vibration, but it's still a good amount. Don't get me wrong. It's still got a lot of vibration to it. But what I like the most about this chatterbait is it doesn't have that rise issue. You can reel it, faster than most, and it's not coming out of the water on you. Great option right here, guys, for a chatterbait. The shock blades, definitely check them out. And like I said, the other bait was the square bill. And really where I ran both of them the most was along the dead pad stems. That's pretty much what I did the entire time. Fishing, I didn't really fish open water. I was fishing shallow. That's where I wanted to find the fish. Normally they're in the pads. And that time of year, they were just along the pads. A little bit deeper, not like in the pad stems where they were, but along those pad stems, a little bit deeper water. That's where we found the fish. Square bills, chatterbaits was the deal. Now, when the water warmed up a little bit and the fish were even shallower, Bile craw was the deal, guys. And I got dozens of different craws, but guys, I can't really even say I tied many others on all year other than the bile craw. I mean, this was the deal. I mean, it's become my favorite. A lot of kicking action, that dirtier water. It moves a lot of water. It gets bit. I mean, it's plain and simple. A lot of you guys asked me to compare that one to the Rage Craw. You guys know I was a huge Rage Craw guy. To me, the Rage Craw is a little more subtle. The Bile Craw kicks a little bit more. I think the Rage Craw has more of a swimming action, a little bit tighter. I feel you get a little more kick out of the Bile Craw. That's kind of how I would compare the two. But the Bile Craw there, this is a great one here. Fall time, but in spring, the Alabama Craw, green pumpkin orange was the deal. And majority of you guys probably fish that on a jig, you know, as a jig trailer, maybe just Texas rigged. You drag it, you hop it on the bottom. And to be honest, guys, I caught the most fish using that bait, swimming it. And like I said, I believe that color, swimming that along the banks, along the pad stems and all that, real shallow where the fish are moving up to spawn, I believe they thought it was a bluegill. If you haven't checked those out, definitely check them out. You guys can use my code as well for BioSpawn TJ81, get you guys 15% off. But that would be, what, 3 baits so far? We got the chatterbait, the square bill, the Bile Craw. Third, I want to talk a little bit more about color on this one. I mean, everyone catches fish on spinnerbait, right? I usually do pretty good on a spinnerbait. It's one of my go-to baits. But there was this one day, I think actually it was a couple days. It was a stretch of a few days where my next 2 baits, the spinnerbait and the 4.8 Kitech, okay, these 2 baits, man, it was the deal. But color seemed critical. I mean, colors that would normally always work, still work, but not as good if I were to switch it up a little bit. We'll start with the spinnerbait. Now, normally spinnerbait, guys, I don't get too crazy with colors. Normally, it's a gold or it's like a bling shad. So a shad color and gold. I like the shad when the water's a little more clear. I like that gold when it's stained up and dirty, okay? That's really all I do. I like the flash, like I said, of the chrome cleaner and the flash of the gold, like I said, when it's dirtier. Okay, there was a stretch where we didn't get a lot of rain. And the water was clearing up. Actually, as I was on the lake that day, you could just see the water getting clear. I was on it all day. You could see it getting clearer and clearer throughout the day. And before I even got on it, you know, I noticed the lake was a lot clearer than it normally is. I mean, it's never this clear, put it that way, okay? Normally, when I put my boat in the water, like normally I cannot see my trailer. Okay, like it's, you know, the trailer is just a few inches below the surface and I cannot see it. I could almost see the entire trailer in the water this day that I went. For whatever reason, like I said, it was super clear. Gold, I thought was a little too flashy. And the normal bling shad that I throw on, this was not getting bit. But it was just a perfect day for a spinnerbait. I just could not figure it out. So I was just messing around with colors. This one here, I believe this one's called Citrus Shad. Okay? For whatever reason, this one was out fishing the bling shad and the golden china that I usually throw. For whatever reason, that one there was just getting bit. Okay, I think what happened was either the bite stopped for a little. I think it stopped for a little bit. It picked back up on that color, and then I ended up breaking it off. So I switched to a different color. I switched to this one here because I think they weren't hitting, like I said, the golden china. They weren't hitting the bling shad. So I switched to this one here, something with a little more color. For whatever reason, like I said, just the normal shad colors weren't working, so I wanted something with more color other than the shad. So I went to this one here, which I forget the name of this one, Natural Shad or something like that. It's got that orange on the back. This one here, they were hitting this one so hard, they were about taking the rod out of my hand. So switching from the citrus to this one triggered something with those fish. I mean, it was a killer spinnerbait day with this color right here. Funny thing is, I ended up catching, I don't know, half a dozen fish or so, dozen fish on this color. I broke this one off, okay? Or the arm broke. I don't remember what happened. Either I broke it off or I broke the spinnerbait, one or the other. But I lost it, okay? We'll just say that. So all I had left was the shad color and the golden shad, golden china or whatever that was. Could not get bit on either one of those. I had one other bling shad bait with me. And I took some JJ's Magic. I took a little Ardent Swab, and I dyed the back of the skirt that orange color. I think the picture is kind of faded because I posted that after I caught some more fish on it as it's been in the water and all that. But when I had dyed it, it was bright orange just like this. And as soon as I dyed it and started fishing it again, man, it was hit after hit. So that day, it was just something about, they would not hit the shad color really, which is no different than the front of this skirt. But that little bit of orange there, man, it just turned them on. What you can take from this babbling on here is, you know, experiment with some different colors with your spinnerbaits. Because like I said, normally what worked for me that day would not work, and just a little bit of color change was the deal. So definitely experiment around with some different colors next year with your spinnerbaits. And last up, guys, Keitech 4.8 Impact Fat. Both colors that I use, the golden flash and the black shad, have been discontinued. But this bin right here, if you guys can see this bin here is packed to the top with these two colors. So I got more than enough for next season. But these two baits here, really both in the 4.8. I was using the 3.8 here as a trailer a little bit. But the 4.8 in those two colors, Texas rigged on a 4-aught owner beast hook, 1/8 ounce weight, was the deal. And mainly I just threw this bait along a lot of stumps and along a lot of rock. And really, I don't go too deep on this lake with the water clarity, but being that it was clear, I moved out in about 10 foot of water, threw along the rock, slow rolled it, and man, you could actually see them rushing off the bank. You know, you see that wake rushing off the bank to hit that bait out in deeper water. I mean, it was just the spinnerbait day and the day with these Keitechs. Like I said, it was a couple weeks span where they were really hitting these couple baits, and then the bite just completely died off. But those couple days or couple weeks, whatever, with those baits, man, it was money, guys. I can just replay those over and over in my head. I mean, I had more excitement catching all those fish on those baits than I did my PB earlier in the year. But it was just an exciting time, really trying to dial in the bite with the color and all that. It was an exciting year. I know I didn't get a whole lot of fishing footage for you guys. I always say I'm going to try and do better this coming year. I promise, guys. Again, fishing videos don't do great on this channel, but we're going to give it a roll or another. We're going to roll with it again and see what we can do. But, you know, hopefully I can put out some more fishing videos for you guys. We'll see what I can do this year. But that's really my top 5 baits, guys, that really got it done consistently through the year. The square bill, the chatterbait, the bile craw, spinnerbait, and the Keitech Impact Fats 4.8, guys. That was pretty much the deal. And really, I tell you what happened too. You know, I did so well with those baits throughout the year, or I should say the beginning half of the year and middle towards the year. It's like I didn't even bring that many rods with me fishing anymore. And really, I didn't pack that many baits. It's like I had so much confidence built up in these baits. It's like all I wanted to fish all year. It's like if they weren't hitting the chatterbait, I was throwing the square bill. If they weren't hitting the square bill, you know, I'd throw on the spinnerbait or the bile craw or whatever. And like I said, I just got so much confidence with these baits from this year that those are the baits I'm going to have rigged up come early spring and see what I can do with them. You know, just ton of confidence I got, you know, with these baits this year. I mean, I've always had a ton of confidence in them, but after this year and the bite being so well, it's like I've gained so much more. I just feel like I'm going to catch fish as I toss them out. I mean, pretty cool deal, guys. Definitely leave some comments below of your confidence baits or baits that you did really well with this year. Those are mine. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, thumbs up, and we'll talk to you soon, guys. Thanks for watching.